Thank you guys for coming this evening. I'd like to talk to you today about adoption and what adoption is all about. What is it about adoption that makes people cringe? Well, perhaps it's a movie that they watched, like the movie called The Orphan, or maybe it's a friend that told them a horror story. I want to stand here today and just talk to you guys about a bunch of facts and statistics of how many children there are in the world that need to be adopted. I do want to tell you about one very important statistic. According to the National Data Archive on Child Abuse and Neglect, the NDA-CAN, there are over 18,400 children alone in the Oklahoma area that need to be adopted. There are also over 1,000 children just in the Tulsa County area alone. Break that down even further, over half of those children are actually considered older children. The older children actually stay in the system longer, which brings me to the point of what I want to talk to you about. Contrary to popular belief, older children are worth adopting because they have a shorter waiting period, they're ready for a loving family, and need to be cared for the most. Furthermore, adopted teens, once adjusted, perform just as well, if not better, than non-adopted teens. Every child in the legal system deserves to have a home and a loving family. So what would you do if you had the choice to adopt an infant or an older child? Most people would choose to adopt an infant over an older child due to the fact that they are less of a hazard to adopt. So let me help you make a decision today. The average time it takes to adopt an older child through the Oklahoma Department of Human Services is 6 months, whereas it can take up to several years to adopt an infant. Because 90% of those children that are in the Oklahoma DHS foster care system are older children. So that gives you an idea of how many people or how many children need to be adopted. Older children can also express their own gratitude on how to be adopted and who they can be adopted by. They can actually say, I would like to have this family to adopt me. And waiting children are the best candidates for adoption than the older children. And finding the right child is a blessing in disguise for both the child and the adopted family. Older adopted children can adjust very quickly and realize the need for love and support. I want to give you a few simple rules to follow when it's time to take your adopted child home. First of all, an adopted child is your child forever. You can't change that. Once you adopt them, they're yours just like your own child. My daughter Brittany once said that you can disown your own birth child, but you can't disown an adopted child. They are yours forever. According to Karen Poteet, which is the post-adoption program manager, the DHS system, it is just like giving birth, and adopted parents need to understand that this is their child forever. Have fun. Having fun and happy memories are the first thing you need to do when you bring your adopted child home. This is something that you need to do to make sure that they understand that they are loved right away and have memories of that, with their new family. And you have to sit back and let them take that all in, because if you don't, it'll smother them and they'll push you away. From time to time, your adopted child will come home through adulthood. From the time you bring your adopted child home through adulthood, their transition is as good or as better as a non-adopted child. Adopted teens perform well and better in non-adopted teens in their situations. The facts that state this are the Search Institute compared adopted teens to other teens and found that adopted teens scored better in all categories. Those categories are they scored higher on indicators of well-being, such as school performance, friendships, volunteerism, self-esteem, and optimism. and scored lower on indicators of high-risk behavior such as depression, alcohol use, vandalism, and police trouble. I want to leave you with this thought today. Adoption is a personal choice, obviously, so that becomes a choice that you can make. But if you do decide to make that choice, an older child is the best way to go. A choice can be persuaded by many outside sources such as public opinion and friends and family and movies. A story I told earlier, which I didn't tell that story, but it's okay. Instead, I would like to recite a poem written by an adopted 10-year-old Eliana of her adopted family. This is a 10-year-old girl that was adopted and had troubles, and now this is her poem to her family. When I was little as you, I had a dream. I thought it would never come true. I dreamed of a family that would fill up my heart with love. Now, what should I do? Should I love them back? Of course I will. First, my heart said never, but now we are family forever. Adoption is obviously a scary thing at first. You find yourself asking questions like, what if the adopted child doesn't like me? Or can I provide this child with the love he or she needs? But hearing stories like Eliana's should give you comfort. And if you already have children, you have answered those questions and know without a doubt you are capable of that duty. The only question left to answer is when. When will you adopt? When is the right time to adopt an older child? I say now is the perfect time. The numbers speak for themselves. Now, what are you going to do about it? I've got a few things, information I'd like to give you from the Oklahoma DHS. And please take time to look at those tonight. Thank you.